Good morning, everybody. My name is Tarhaka Amana El Bay, and this morning I want to address the issue of exercising your freedom of right to travel. We have a lot of people who are attempting to do it, and I'm going to show you how I done it successfully. Okay? The first thing that I did was I learned everything that I possibly could about my freedom of right to travel. Okay? I studied all of the Supreme Court rulings. I looked at every point of law involving my rights. I looked at driving. I looked at who was it exactly that needed a driver's license and who didn't. Okay? After I got this information under my belt, then the next thing I had to do is understand the difference between an officer and of the law and a policeman. I discovered that all officers are elected officials. If you are an officer of a church, you have been elected by the people of that church. Any officers in any organization are elected officials. If you are not elected, you are not an officer. So we got policemen out on the street masquerading as officers of the law, when in fact they are nothing more than private contractors, and they are enforcing public policy, which is masquerading as law. Okay, now that we know this, the next thing that I did is I drew up an affidavit for the sheriff, and because he is the officer and all the other men are private contractors, and he is responsible for their behavior. I sent him an affidavit. This is a copy of the affidavit that I sent him. This is what it looks like. Okay. Inside that affidavit, I'm asking them to put me on a no-stop list. I've given them a photograph of my vehicle. I've given them a photograph of the license plate that I will be using when traveling. And I give him a photograph of my identification. In my case, a world passport. On page 6, on this passport, is my estate information, clearly showing that I'm occupying the office of executorship of my own estate. Now, I also gave him a photograph of my license plate, the plate that I chose to use under the terms of contract law, because this is what's going on inside the United States. Everything operates on contract, and the United States of America does not interfere with your right to make contract. I get a copy of this so that he could see that this is the plate that I have on my vehicle. This is not registered to the state of Florida. There is no registration. I'm not a part of the enforcement of public policy. I'm exercising my right to travel, and my right to travel was given to me at birth. It does not have anything to do with me being a Moor. It doesn't have anything to do with that. It doesn't have anything to do with anything other than a right that you were given at birth. You have a right to travel. It's as simple as that. Another form of identification that you can use should be carried with you at all times when you're exercising your right to travel. You may want to consider using an affidavit of identity. This is what it looks like. Get it signed and notarized and stamped and carry it with you when you're exercising your freedom of right to travel. Now, when I gave the document to the sheriff, inside that document, the affidavit, which is a charging instrument, I placed all of the Supreme Court rulings that they have previously ruled on other people who are exercising their right to travel. So it is plain and simple for him to understand. I also reserved all of my rights inside of that affidavit. If I am detained, I'm seeking recovery in the amount of $5,000 for being detained. If I am handcuffed, an additional $5,000. If I am fingerprinted, $5,000. If I'm abducted, an additional $5,000. If I'm placed in any type of cell with bars and concrete, an additional $5,000. And all of these charges will be filed against him, the sheriff, in his personal capacity, not as a public elected official, because if I do that, then he's able to use city funding to hire an attorney. But in this case, it's against him in his personal capacity. I sent this to the sheriff, certified mail, with return receipt. I gave him 14 days to respond and rebut according to the Affidavit Act. Every point inside that affidavit has to be refuted or rebutted. If I didn't hear anything from him, now I'm officially ready to serve him with a notice of default and opportunity to cure. Now keep in mind, all of this goes before you get out on the pavement exercising any right. Put these people on notice of your intentions and your rights, so therefore they have it in their hands. You have proof that they got it because you have your certified mail receipt right here, clearly showing they have signed for it. They got it in their possession, so they can never say that you did not put them on notice. Okay? Now, you are officially ready now to secure your identification, secure your license plate, put it on your vehicle, and get out there on the pavement. You're going to exhaust the administrative procedure first. You're going to go all the way out. We're going to say that where you are, that you do this. If the sheriff does not respond, you send a notice of default with opportunity to cure. He doesn't respond to that. Then you send him a notice of default in dishonor. He doesn't respond to that. You are now officially ready to draw up a complaint. Draw up the complaint, attach your initial affidavit to it, attach your opportunity to cure to it, your default notice to it in dishonor, and the complaint, and send that to him, and which clearly shows that you are prepared to file a complaint if you are violated. And once the complaint is filed, then he is to be coming to court and give an account for the violation of your rights, which you have clearly given him in advance. To learn how to do this more effectively, I have a website. Go to www.newdebtelimination.com. That's www.newdebtelimination.com. Send me an email for my free articles. I have free reports. I have a detailed video on this stuff. And I also have audio on other stuff that you need to know. Send that to Tarhaka53@hotmail.com. Just say, Tarhaka, send me that information now that you spoke of in your video, and I'll send it right to you. That's Tarhaka53@hotmail.com. The website, once again, www.newdebtelimination.com. Peace and love, everybody. Until next time.